What's up, peeps? So this video right here is about Willie D having an issue with calling with some black people calling themselves African Americans. Now, myself personally, I consider myself either American or just a black American. I do not like the term African American myself. So I agree with Willie on this topic, but at the same time, I disagree on who he's blaming for calling us African American. See, my thing about these celebrities slash influencers, they don't do their homework or their research before they make these videos. Willie D, as you will see, is going to blame white people for calling for the term African Americans. And it wasn't a white person who came up with that term. But as we go along, I will explain who came up with that term and why they came up with that term. So let's listen to Willie D for a second.
American. Never called myself an African American. The deal is, America think they slick. Every 20, 30 years, they want to switch up the name for black folks. They start us off with the N-word, then they go with the coloreds, and then they come to Negro, and then they come to African American. I guess every 70 to 100 years or so. I don't know, fam, but you know what I'm talking about. They always switching it up on us. Think about it.
See, that's what I'm saying. He's saying they always switching it up on us. He's blaming white people. We can't blame white people for everything. That's why we must do our homework. Now, let's talk about who actually came up with that term. It was Jesse Jackson in 1988. He came up with that term. Now, let's listen to Willie some more. Then I'll tell you the reason why he wanted to call us African Americans in this country. Well, let's go.
How come white folks don't call themselves European Americans?
Now, this is the reason why Jesse Jackson decided to call us African Americans in 1988. Because now Willie D just said, why don't they call themselves European Americans? Well, they don't say European Americans, but a lot of those groups back in the day was calling themselves by their country names, like Italian Americans, German Americans, or like Irish Americans. And that's why Jesse Jackson came up with this idea of calling Black Americans African Americans. And that way you was able to recognize your ancestry, just like Italians and Irish and the Germans was doing. And that's why Jesse Jackson decided to say, well, look, let's call ourselves African Americans, for we can honor our ancestry. So that's the reason why. And like I said, Willie, you have to do your homework, man, before you make these videos, because you're misleading people on the origin of these words. Bottom line.
I mean, they are from Europe, right? Family. They know what they're doing. The only time they really identify black folks.
How can they know what they're doing when it wasn't them that created this term for black people living in America? See, this is why I say, when you don't do your research, it makes yourself look crazy, because you're saying they know what they're doing when they're not the ones that did it. It was black people who did it. It was a black person, Jesse Jackson.
Folks as Americans, or when we're in the Olympics competing for them, competing for American pride, American.
So, like I said, these influencers, they have thousands of people following them. And these thousands of people are listening to every word that these people are putting out. And they think it's facts when they put these things out there. And they're not facts. And that's why I say we need to start holding these so-called celebrities slash influencers to a higher standard. Hold them accountable for putting out basic wrong information. We must do that. And Willie D is wrong this time. He put out wrong information. He did not know the history before he made this video. And he need to learn the history first. So until then, I salute you all. Y'all have a good one.